Hello everyone, I'm Marina and it's Sakramel School. Why does the coating peel off the nail tips? And how to avoid that? You will learn from this video. Let's get into it. Here's my model. She's got multiple peelings on her tips. And surprisingly, there are none in the cuticle zone. Why does the coating mostly peel off in this area? The thing is that every day we use the tips of our nails a lot. Our nails are flexible, and the coating is not. That's why it peels off pretty often, chips and cracks. That's clear. But how can we avoid that? Let's find out together. The first reason is a nail plate condition. If the nails are thin and damaged, any coating will last poorly. It may also be the case on wet nails, and the ones that are already peeling. It may be caused by mechanical damage, when our clients tear off the gel coating, or thin down the nail plate while removing the coverage. That's why the initial nail plate condition plays one of the key parts. Let's remove this material, and I will show you how to file off all the liftings. First, we need to remove the top part, using a carbide or ceramic drill bit. After that, we will see the transition between the coating parts. This white part is a lifting. We need to place the tip of the drill bit at a 45-degree angle along this line. Then it will fall off itself. I make short undercutting strokes moving from right to left. My model has admitted that a few days ago she tore off her gel nails. And I guess that's the reason why the gel polish won't hold on now. Once we have cleaned up the lifting perimeter, we can remove it completely. Never tear it off, since it might easily damage the natural nail part. Now I place the drill bit perpendicularly to the nail plate and make long moves from right to left with the bit surface. We need to remove the top of it carefully, so that the lifting could not spread any further. If you can see that it's big, then remove the coating completely, without keeping any base coat. We should always check the nail plate condition first, and try to bend the free edge. It's very flexible here, which might have caused liftings. So we need to find a proper base coat for this nail plate type. The next point is nail plate prepping mistakes. Don't use old files or soft buffers, since they won't lift up the nail plate scales, but smooth them out. I recommend using 180 to 140 grit nail files to lift up the nail scales for good bonding. Move only in one direction to lift them up properly, since if we move from side to side, they won't get lifted that well. To polish the surface, I'm using a medium file abrasive. Don't use hard ones, since they will thin down the nail plate, which can result in liftings. I turn the finger and make long moves from left to right. I try not to file one area twice. Make sure to mat the entire nail surface, so that there are no glossy areas. We can remove the leftovers with the hard side of a buffer, and if there is no coverage, then use a soft one. The buffers are different. Low-quality ones get bald once we polish 10 nails. They don't lift up the nail scales, but smooth them out. That's why I prefer using a file to prepare the nail plate. The techs often skip the right part. Hold the file with an upper grip and gently move along the cuticle line. Hard files will leave lines on the nail surface, thinning down the nails. The next step is shaping, and some nail techs think that we need to file in one direction to seal the tips. That's true, but only if we do a manicure without any coverage. If we do a gel coating or nail strengthening, we can move in both directions. I've done a manicure since it won't affect the coating wearability on the tips. It can only cause liftings in the cuticle zone, but my model didn't have any, so I decided to skip this step. To provide proper bonding, we need to use adhesive products. If the nail plate is wet, make sure to use a dehydrator to dry it up a bit. And an acid-free primer, our double-sided tape that will provide the bonding we need. I carefully degrease the nail plate to make sure that there is no dust on the sides. We need to use a dehydrator here or some rubbing alcohol. Some of the liquids contain moisturizing components, which can also lead to liftings. So use the ones you trust, or ask your colleagues for help. My model's nails are not wet, so I won't apply the dehydrator, just the acid-free primer. We can apply it only on the free edge part, if the nails are normal. And if they are flexible, then apply it all over the nail plate. Apply a small amount, without layering it. Using too much primer would be a mistake. When you don't squeeze out the brush and apply it like this, we can see how it flows into the side sinuses, and so will the base coat if we don't remove it. I squeeze out the brush and apply it in 3 moves. In the center, from the right, and from the left. That's enough. We need to let it dry a bit to prevent liftings. Only after that, we can apply a base coat. Next are base coat application mistakes. It's important to find a proper base coat. We need to take a look at the nail's condition, hardness, flexibility, and length. If the nails are thin, I recommend using a rubber base coat that will follow the natural plate curves. If the nails are short, and if the nails are thin and long, then do a rubber underlay and strengthen it with a harder material. For example, gel, acrygel, or a hard base coat. And when the nails are naturally hard, we can use any base coat we want. Both rubber and hard ones will do here. Note that harder base coats won't sag with time, and your coating will remain perfectly even, as when you have just applied it. To check your base coat plasticity, do the following. Apply it over a smooth surface, cure, wipe off the tacky layer, and bend it. Then you will see how flexible it is, and whether you can use it on thin nails, or it's used for nail strengthening more. If it cracks only after a while, it means that it will crack when you apply it in a thin layer, and it will be hard if the layer is thick. If it cracks immediately, and you can't even take it off, then this base coat will do only for normal nails that practically don't bend. We can also use it on top of a rubber base underlay. We should also pay attention to the base coat acidity. Acidic ones have better adhesion, but when we apply them in a thick layer on thin nails, such base coats may cause a nail plate burn. Acid-free ones may not hold on perfectly even if we use them with a primer. We can form the underlay with an acidic base coat and then align it with a low acidity one. In this case, there won't be too much acid on the nail surface, and it won't get burned. Since my model's nails are very flexible, I need to use a rubber base coat for the underlay. The nails are not too long, so we can't do a rubber coating here. If they were longer, I would use a rubber base coat for the underlay and a harder one for alignment. I could also use any sculpting gel or acrygel. For the nails not to bend, we need to build up the correct architecture. Right now, this nail is too flat, so I need to fix it and move the highest point closer to the cuticle. Sometimes thick layers may not get cured well and peel off. Apply a thin underlay first and cure it. When it comes to sealing the nail tip, we can do it carefully. And if the brush gets under the nail plate, then the material will flow there, which can also lead to liftings. Curing the lamp. I align the nail plate with the second layer. First, I cover up the entire nail plate. I don't seal the tip. I put a drop and spread it, forming a perfect highlight. I turn the hand over to spread the gel. And here's another nuance. If we hold the hand like this for too long, the material will flow closer to the center, leaving the tip bald. That's why having a thin, cured underlay is so important here. If you want to use a camouflage base coat, I recommend that you apply a thin layer of a clear one first, since it will provide better bonding with the natural nail. And the camouflage one won't, due to the pigment. Besides, camouflage colors may not get cured well, which can also cause cracks. The next mistake that can lead to gel polish peeling of the nail plate is the wrong polymerization. Not cured enough material, for example. We can always check the polymerization time on the gel bottle, but the techs often neglect it, trying to do it all faster and don't cure it well enough, which results in chipping. That's why I recommend that we do a polymerization test. Apply a medium layer over a glossy surface, cure in the lamp, take it off, and check it from the inside, whether it has cured or is still wet inside. It will affect its wearability. Our lamps may work, but still don't cure the materials well enough. That's why we need to take such tests from time to time, to make sure that our lamp works properly. I send the nails to cure. When the molecules bond, they release heat, and your client may feel burning and take the hand out. Then the polymerization reaction stops. And though the top part has cured, the layer is still wet inside, which then results in liftings. In this case, we may turn on the low power mode, so that it doesn't burn that much while curing. And in no way should we tolerate burning, since it will lead to other negative consequences. Don't apply thick layers of a base coat, since then it won't get cured. I know that many beginners tend to do it, since they want to align the surface faster. But this layer is too thick, and it will definitely chip later. If you want to get dense coverage, apply the material in thin layers, curing them all in between. Aligning the surface, make sure to check the architecture. Don't apply too much on the free edge. It often happens on the upgrowing nails, or when we turn the hand over, and don't adjust the angle. And the material flows on the tip. All those extra material bits on the tip and the sides will lift up and chip later. There should be enough material on the free edge. Make sure that it's thick enough. The final tip thickness is 0.5 mm. I will use a hard gel with such a thin brush. That is perfect for sealing the tips. I gently applied and sent to cure. there should be a thin sealing layer on the free edge. And only then we can strengthen the nails with a base coat, gel, or acrygel. Now the free edge is not flexible, and the coating won't peel off. Color and top coat application mistakes. Should we seal the tips with them? Well, if the coating is thin, then we'd better seal it. But if we do an alignment and then file the tips, there is no point to seal them. What matters is that the color and the top coat are applied evenly without any leaks. We may not seal the tip with color if we align the nail with the base coat. Some nail techs often place the brush like this and start moving from side to side, sealing the free edge. Get it on the skin and messing it up, and getting the material under the nail plate. Then when the water gets there, the coating will lift up, and so will the base coat. If it still happens, make sure to remove all the slicks using a tissue soaked in a dehydrator. Remove all the extra material from the free edge and make only long moves from the cuticle to the free edge. Lay the brush down. Then the coating will get spread evenly. Or pull it to the center with a thin brush. Same with the top coat. Don't apply too much, just a medium layer, to align the surface and form a perfect highlight. There is no need to seal the free edge. But if you want to do it, if there was no alignment, then place the brush perpendicularly so that there are no leaks. Turn the hand over for 10 seconds for the coating to align. This way it won't leak under the nail plate. The next point is controversial, I know. It's filing the tips. And there are two opinions. Some techs say that we should not do it, while others do it, and it's all good. When we align the nail surface and apply a thick layer of a base coat, we can file the tips, and the base coat should not peel off. And if it does, then we can file the natural nail from the inside, and then it will get sealed under the material. And if nothing holds on your client, no base coat, try doing the following trick. File the nail from the inside a bit. It will get sealed under the material. We can also apply a base or top coat from the inside to make sure that it's sealed. We can also use any other strengthening materials, hard systems, gels, acrygels, or acrylic systems. To file the tips, we need to place the file under the nail plate, not perpendicularly, so that the coating could not lift up and peel off with time, but under the nail plate, slightly filing the natural nail. This way, we get a clear and even tip. There are many life hack videos on my channel where you can learn how to make the coating last longer without chipping. Make sure to watch them all if you haven't done so yet. Turn on the notification button below, click in the bell, and write in the comments if you want to see part 2 starring these nails. And I wish you all perfect coatings. Success in your work. Bye bye.